we're still on ATN Blowout. All right, so our anchors chat this morning, we're taking off from Nigerian civil society organization has demanded the release of the embattled former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, from the Economic and Financial Crime Commission's custody, convener of the Coalition of Civil Society for Defense of Human Rights, Yusuf Maje, who made this known at a Free Emefiele rally held in Abuja, said the Department of State Security freed Emefiele on October 25th after being arrested on June 9th, 2023, and immediately after his release from DSS's custody, EFCC detained him. Reacting to the development, Maje said Emefiele's travails in the hands of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration are a witch hunt, and described the arrest of Emefiele by EFCC as unreasonable and a show of overzealousness, and urged President Tinubu to release Emefiele or charge him to court within 7 days. Well, I wouldn't know if this is actually an extension of what Nemesis is all about. Yeah, because you know what goes around, comes around. Yeah. So let's take it a little bit back from where this whole thing started from. There's nobody in Nigeria that didn't really feel the brunt of what power is all about when Emefiele was in position. Yes.
You can say that again.
Yes, everybody, even my children were really feeling like, Daddy, who is Emefiele? But be that as it may, Emefiele was doing his job, but somehow, it was really telling seriously on people. I can't really understand and explain how, within a short period of time, Nigerians' currency had to just be changed abruptly, and the tension and all of that, But that's, well, let's not get it to like we're still, nailing him again or crucifying him the second time, but...
I don't know what you're talking about.
But this is something that still
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so I'm on my own.
You're on your own. Excuse me? What crucifixion are we talking about here? But anyway, just before I'll come back to you, please.
All right.
If you need to run, not to worry, we got you covered as always. All you need to do is log on to watch us live from other online platform. If you cannot watch us on DTHS StarTimes 194 right now, feel free. We got you covered. Like I said, log on to AtlanticTelevisionNetwork.tv and you can watch us live from there. Or better still, download our app from the App Store, and that's ATN Live. And you can watch us anywhere and share with friends. And of course, beyond watching us live there too, you can also watch us live on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. All right, do well to share with friends. Let's continue with the blowout. I'll back to you.
All right, so, well, actually, what caught my attention is an advocacy group called The Truth, Nothing More, Nothing Less,
Okay, well, is that what their name, is that what they are called?
There's an advocacy group,
Another group,
called,
so
known as The Truth, Nothing More, Nothing Less.
Are you serious right
now? I'm
now?
telling you, yeah, really. So they are actually also calling on the president to look into the prolonged detention of the former, yes, Emefiele, and actually, grant him the release that they feel he deserves, or charge him to court, like they said. So,
okay.
Take it up.
What's their name again? The Truth.
The Truth, Nothing More, Nothing Less. They are an advocacy group.
I don't know how CAC managed the Corporate Affairs Commission. I don't know how they managed to register this, but it's okay. Here is the thing. Every time first of all, this is the same pattern when Buhari came in. Is now being called a witch hunt. A man who swing policy, Naira twin policy, Naira redesign, and what was it out now? Nearly shut down. As a matter of fact, he shut down major parts of this country.
He really did.
Between that, just before the elections.
Yes.
I don't know. I think we are very unique humans in this country.
Nigerians, really, we are.
I don't know what the average member of the international community that can survive what we survive in this country,
you can say that again,
and just pretend like all is well.
Really, yes.
Now here is where I'm going to with this. Emefiele is now being turned to a saint. We are now turning him from a sinner to a saint. I'm glad you started off from the point the Naira redesign.
Yes.
And then you ask yourself, what exactly are we doing? First and foremost, but Nigerians should be clamoring. Even when I saw this conversation, like you're giving the
president an ultimatum.
a 7-day ultimatum to either release him or grant him bail. Of course, Bawa is out, right? I saw him rejoicing and all of that. Okay, after the Kayode became the EFCC chairman. All right, that's fine. So now, on Emefiele's case, the irony of it, or a lot of these persons did say the way Tinubu is handling this is going to turn this man into a saint. People are suddenly going to be clamoring for him, supporting him.
It's actually
with the crime he committed against humanity in this country. And now you're talking about, you've now mismanaged this matter to the point that someone is now saying, hey, we're not doing that. Release him. Emefiele now have people who are campaigning in his support. That is exactly where we are right now. Because now we're looking at a human rights abuse.
Yes.
This is like Nnamdi Kanu again. You're neither suing this person, you're not prosecuting this person properly, or you're doing nothing. At the end of the day, just because you want to show I'm the president, or I'm whoever, or the DSS boss, I have power. And then you keep breaking the law. How long are you supposed to detain this man for?
Really?
Everything you said you accuse him of, for instance, you didn't even follow through. Now, there was a substantive CBN governor. Now that he's done, now Cardoso is there right now. Now, if there are crimes that this man committed, like for us who are not in the financial sector, if there are crime he committed with that swing policy, which I think that is what Nigerians were aggrieved about, we expect you to have had either the past, the substantive CBN governor that was in acting capacity, or also right now to look at the books and come out to tell us what exactly did Emefiele did. Where are the new Naira notes? We still have the old Naira note dominating. Remember, the Supreme Court said December 2023. Trust me, it's not going to work. I'm not a prophet of doom. I'm trying to be pessimistic. It's not going to work because realize that right now they're not even talking about it.
It's always
they're not
easy
even telling
to forecast.
us. Yeah.
In Nigeria.
Yeah, they're not even telling us plans they are making to ensure that this is going to work in any way. As a matter of fact, so you find out that things keep happening and there are no consequences for it. Instead, what you see is a witch hunt. And I don't blame the group for even talking about it. In as much as I don't agree with them, with their stand of realism, I expect civil society organizations, what was it, truth or...
Okay, the truth, nothing more, nothing less.
Oh my God.
The name is really tickling your fancy.
The truth, nothing more, nothing less.
Yes.
I think I need
it's
to
a strong one.
I just need to do a draft on that, like an art or something, and put it on my... Okay, so here is the thing. They are calling for his release.
Yes.
This group, again, is also coming out to say, hey, we give you 7 days to release him. This is a man, like I said, that literally brought this country to its knees.
Yeah.
A lot of businesses were forced, sort of small businesses, SMEs were forced to shut down that period.
As a matter of fact, some people have died actually.
Absolutely. There are women, you see, sometimes I don't know if we're going to survive as a country. That is just the truth, because the role of the civil society organizations, particularly while we are here as the media, we are supposed to be the unbiased umpire. We'll talk about these issues, we'll raise these issues. The next people in the office of the citizen, we are okay with the fortune of the estates, no doubt about that. Those who are supposed to take over this, who operate from the office of the citizens, are the civil society organization.
Sure. At
this point, there should be a sort of class action. How did you do it? How many people died in the Delta State, in River State? I remember that pregnant woman who, I still remember her image on a red dress, waiting in the back under the sun.
To access their own money.
Oh my God. To hear that this woman died and all of that happened, people couldn't have access to money. These are the things that should make us, and it's not a person now, it's not a witch hunt against Emefiele, but these are things that we're supposed to do to check the system. If there are no consequences for such actions, because that Naira redesign policy wasn't well thought out. You didn't give it space, just like every other policy that this government introduces in this country. Look at the removal of fuel subsidy, for instance. Look at the palliative, the 2 billion Naira distribution and the grain distribution. Nobody is being held accountable. None of the governors is giving a stewardship account of what they did with the money or what is going to happen. Just look around you and ask yourself, what exactly is going on in this? Tell me one. Okay, look at Empower. the social register issue. Remember Dr. Betta Edu saying she's going to do this, it's going to be transparent and all of that. Till now, we don't have a website we can log on to see how many people received in
That's
Rivers
why she's
State.
been called to answer.
So now, yeah, exactly, the House is now summoning her to start giving accounts, and she has not even gone far. You know, I also tell people all the time, when you are appointed into a position, even if you have not held that position before, but then when someone or a group of individuals or a president or an owner of a business gives you an opportunity to take over it, that is a position of trust.
Yes.
You owe that person and those whom you will be serving in that office the responsibility to go out of your way to develop yourself better, to build yourself up to a point so you can become better yourself. By bettering yourself, you better the organization,
Absolutely.
you better everyone around you.
That's
so
correct.
that the essence is to grow, to develop. But if you lack that, then you don't even deserve the position you occupy.
That's correct.
Dr. Betta Edu, a young woman, should be ICT savvy. First thing, if this is about governance and genuinely, provided taking care of the people, the first thing we should have is a functional website, a domain where people can log in to say in Rivers State, because this should be one of the easiest things. Like I said, we have what you call the artificial intelligence. AI is a big market right now, and it's readily available for anyone who is seeking that. Get this guy, just tell the ICT guys, what is wrong with you? Because some of them may even have an app that can do this for you already.
Correct.
All you needed to do, buy their services, get them to develop a proper system. Okay. Vivian Ngozi Douglas Ezugo was given 25,000. It's one of the easiest things to do. In Rivers State, these are the people that received the money. In Sokoto State, these are people that received the money. The House may not even need to even be calling her right now to come and account for whatever happened. Look at the COVID-19 bill. The Accountant General was caught, and they could even someone the courage to come and defend what they. I mean, these are funds transferred.
Yes.
So going back to Mefili's case, I honestly think that, again, just like the Buhari government came into power, the same witch hunting processes. You remember Sambo Dasuki, the chief security advisor at the point, I think. Remember Olisa Metsu?
Yes.
And then several others at that point who were, they were chasing after them. They looted money from this, they did this, they did.
Just
died.
Down.
After all of that media trial, after all of that noise, today, story. We are back to it again. Another president comes into power because he felt Emefiele was doing that to antagonize you. I mean, you were in the same political party anyway. Again, Emefiele was not supposed to be holding a political office or could be being a member of a political party at the point. He did. These are crimes or alleged crimes that he should be going for trial right now.
Yes.
It's not all of this unnecessary locking him up. You're hearing of so amount of, is it 53 billion that leads to, that all of this. Oh, tomorrow you're hearing he was trying to bribe the law enforcement agency. Or tomorrow you hear, there's a certain amount of money. The judge is scolding everyone. A group is coming. What is all of this in 2023? Like, are we that low? Is our grey matter that docile that you cannot manage some of these issues properly? You understand what I'm trying to say? Sure. So we had a lot of interpretations of all of this at that point. See the outcome of the 2023 elections. Even if, as a matter of fact, did Emefiele do all of this without Buhari's authorization? The answer is no. He was saying on video, saying that he authorized that. So I don't understand it. If you have said that you only saw him with a license and maybe in his position, but legally he is meant to have that, and all of the accusation, okay, if you say he's involved in terrorism, we should see, like, evidence. You understand?
Yes.
One of the accusing was the terror financing there. So what exactly is all of this about? Okay, so when another group will come up, it will become another Nnamdi Kanu case, maybe another El Zakzaki's case, and then you just keep going on and on and on, and tomorrow, story. After you have billed him, humiliated him, he just walks. And that will be it.
That will just be
another CBN governor, because there are no consequences for the action, another CBN governor will come in and do worse than he did. Maybe when another person picks up a presidential ticket in 2027, and then suddenly they will realize that, oh, this is not what it's meant to be. Another policy will come up, or another disjointed policy that you don't have ability to control from the beginning, the middle, or even the concluding part of it, and then you throw it out at Nigerians. Again, Nigerians forget so easily.
Yes, we do.
See, there's something about us. I don't know if it's a spiritual, a physical thing, but the level of docility, the ease with which we stay in doldrum in this country, it's alarming. I don't think we actually understand the import of demanding for accountability. Everybody is talking about it. 2023, as far as I'm concerned, is gone.
Yeah.
This is when, from political party to civil society organization, even to the election umpire, preparation for the next election shouldn't be the next year. This is the time for conversation on what should be. While we are monitoring governance and following in on what the governors and the presidents and all other elected officials are doing, but we cannot afford to dump all of this on the altar of forgetfulness. I don't know how a group or groups, you say, well, I need to write down that.
The truth, nothing more, nothing less. It's an advocacy group.
I don't know how we got to this point. You formed a group. Where exactly are you defending? What are you defending Emefiele for? How did you forget everything that's transpired in this country?
Well, I actually think that it's beyond defending him because, like you said, there's supposed to have been a period he was should have been kept in custody. You don't just keep him in custody without trying him.
Yeah.
And let's know what it's all about. So that's why everybody's pushing. So is either you actually effect his release or you try him in 7 days.
Period. It's 7 days. It's been months.
Yeah.
It's been
months. from this demand now.
But of course, this is not going to go anywhere. I mean, how many are there? Who are dead? What is this going to happen? I would rather, if we have this number of persons who are gathered, we should properly articulate what we are going for. If you're supporting Emefiele, make it clear that you're here to support him. You can say he didn't do anything. We have seen worse. We have seen worse, and nothing will surprise us in this country.
Yes.
But if you're going to be saying, we are asking you to immediately begin the proper prosecution of this man. This is what he did. These are the things he did. These are how he broke the rules. These are the things he shouldn't do. Then Nigerians can begin to have a conversation on that.
Yes.
Everyone can come on board that. And we can begin to look at it to say, people shouldn't think that they can do things and get away with it. At some point, there's going to be consequences. And if the Nigerian people are not demanding for consequences for some of this action, then we are not ready for any form of quality progress, if you may. If you look around you, look at the answers, for instance. We're just looking at that yesterday, and someone was busy saying how he said, okay, of course, it was 3 years, it's 3 years later, and nothing is being done. Was he talking about panel reports? And we are serious like this. No names has been listed that should be lined up for legal action. We are still asking, can you publish the names of these people? It's not supposed to be a secret anymore. If you may not give us the names of the living, their family members, give us the names of release names of the dead fully. Let's get a site. Let's publish it. Let people know that on the 20th of October 2022, at Lekki Toll Gate in Lagos State, these people were murdered. We are not, I keep saying that. I go back to what I said earlier. When you take up a responsibility, whether you were appointed into it or it was given to you, one of the things that you're expected to know or do is very simple. You're expected to know that so I've been given this responsibility, then there are tasks. It comes with, every position comes with responsibility.
Yes.
So I have to now find a way, how do I navigate this? For instance, every time I'm seeing the new face of NSAS leader, on the 20th of October, I saw a different person on TV. Like, okay, I've never heard that name before. There are names I saw that pushed the narrative on Twitter then. I didn't see any of their names. Saw the people who were fronting this. So now, what is the face of NSAS? What are we using is that going to become a symbol for civil expression of displeasure when it comes to issues that government is not doing properly. Part of the things we talked about then was social reform, beyond social reform, police reform. Where are we? The Nigerian police are still one of the horribly, unfairly treated institutions in this country till today. We keep demanding for these people to be perfect. Meanwhile, the system is not perfect. We put them in a very unfair condition of service, and we're expecting them to perform miracle. So, I don't know why civil society organizations, growing up in this country, let me give you civil society organization. In fact, it was through the civil society organization that I learned that even as a child, an underage child, under 18, as a child, you can sue your parents.
Yes. But
it was through the civil society movement that in school we knew that even your parents does not have the right to abuse you because you're property of the state.
Yes.
We didn't even know what much of those things called law, but we knew some base because these people come to our schools, they educate us, they tell us as a woman how a person shouldn't touch you, how this shouldn't happen, how like what should happen. Because I went to all girls school, secondary school.
Okay.
So a lot of these things transpired at that point growing up. But today, I don't understand what civil societies are about anymore. Because there are too many things. Let's say too many things happened this year that civil society groups, these are things that should be major news right now. What is our demand on INEC? What are we demanding as Nigerians from INEC when it comes to electioneering or electoral processes? What are we writing? What are we demanding from the National Assembly when it comes to the Electoral Act? Because you cannot say amendment of some of some things in the act. See, this thing was 2022. I don't know when they started working on it, but it came out 2020, just a few months to the elections. It was rushed.
Yes.
That was why even the night assembly didn't even realize there were things inside that affected them in terms of their nomination processing and all of that. Now, nominating promotion for their presidential candidates and all of that. So a lot of them lost out in that. Now, it was not so clear that what they had was electronic or manual voting. So we were just all oblivious, but like living in a mirage, operating in a mirage, thinking that we know what we're doing, but we didn't know what we're doing.
Yes, so, thinking it was this, but it was something else.
Yeah, so bottom line is we find ourselves in a situation where there was no connection to what things should be. So we just sat down there, went to the Electoral Act, Rivers is the game changer. And then, now with the pains again, like back to the Mefile issue, I just want to conclude.
Yes.
With the pains we experienced in January this year till about the Supreme Court intervened, because Mefile told us that we don't have old Naira anymore. Today, we have more old Naira than new Naira. Suddenly they appeared. How did that happen? Where is new Naira? Did that policy follow due process? Was it properly initiated and implementation process? Was it well thought out? Again, as a CBN governor, was he supposed to dabble into politics? Which he did. These and several other questions that was financial experts and legal financial experts are supposed to sit down, marshal out, begin to have conversations on this. We need to get to the point, how do we hold the system responsible if we are not doing our due diligence as from the office of the citizen or from the media? Because every day, because there's nothing to do, that is why civil society organization comes and says, we give you 7 days to release him or prosecute him. If you're not doing that, release him. Because right now, it's being looked like Emefiele is an innocent man. He's been attacked. And sadly, that's the narrative. That is what is playing out. Again, are we going to go through all of the things we had to pass through this year, like in 2020, and we'll just end up, 1st of January 2024, Happy New Year, everyone. Thank God you brought us. What is the plan for us as a nation, as the people? What is our plans as we get into the next year? Yes. In less than 64 days, 2023 is gone. What is the plan? Are we going to, and this is also for organizations, for individuals, what are your projections? What are your plans? What are the things you want to do? Because I don't know where we are going to as a nation, because until we understand that politics shouldn't be left in the hand of politicians, that as a people, we are the recipients of democracy, primarily the led. We have a responsibility towards the state, and until we get to that point and begin to group ourselves and tackle this and begin to use these groups, the truth or nothing more, nothing
the
less.
truth, nothing more, nothing less.
Until we begin to use some of these platforms, join voices with those who are existing, the SERAPs, the Horiwa, Human Rights Writers Association, the
Arewa.
the Arewa, the Niger Delta, the PANDEF, the IYC, the National Youth Council, the what's this or that. So there are several of these groups and all the civil society organizations, until we begin to maximize the power we have by having the right to operate as civil. US today became the US that it is because of civil rights movements. So until we understand that and get back on board and plan ourselves, group ourselves, begin to demand for proper action and demand for consequences to be meted out to offenders when necessary, I do not think we are ready to enjoy good governance, because until we make that demand, I don't think we're going anywhere. That's what we can do on our questions. We'll come back to you after the break. Stay with us. Atlantic Television Network Blowout, everyone. Now, before we get you to meet our guests, just a kind reminder that it's morning. I know you may need to go to work or something. Not to worry, we got you covered. Just get on with your day, but remember, just with your phone, download ATN Live from the App Store, or you can just go and watch us from our website, atlantictelevisionnetwork.tv, or log on to Facebook or YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, and you can catch up anywhere you are, anywhere in the world. Do well to share with your friends. But it's time to welcome the strong voice and advocacy voice, as a matter of fact, for the rights of humans. And most importantly, he is a comrade in arms, if you may, none other than Comrade Chuba Obuzo. So I forgot to put Chibuzo.
And whatever, it's my pleasure. Thank you once again for having me.
Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Always my pleasure to be here.
Why are you answering the thing like that? I want to talk about Atekel. No, not Atekel. King, the paramount ruler of Okochiri Kingdom, King Ateketon.
He's made his marks, and he said honor must be given to whom honor is due.
You bet.
Whether you like it or yes, your opinions are yours. But when it comes to the structures of things today, you just called His Royal Majesty. So you can go ahead.
All right.
And have our discourse.
Okay. I just wanted to remind you. So everyone, let's get on with the business of the day. So the paramount ruler of Okochiri Kingdom, King Ataket Michael Tom, calls on royal fathers and elders in Rivers State to intervene in the ongoing face-off between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, as he warned that it's not an ethnic issue, but a political father and son dispute. The Amayanabo of Okochiri Kingdom, in a press statement on Wednesday in Port Harcourt, said there is need to sustain the development, stride, and peace by the previous administration, which the current administration was part of, and which we hopefully will be improved on. People should not turn the current unfortunate event into a political gain, because Rivers State recorded peace and progress under ex-governor Nyesom Wike, which has been sustained and shown signs greater prospect of progress and peace under Governor Fubara. As a royal father, I advise both sides to maintain restraint and allow wisdom to prevail in these circumstances. He said Fubara is a governor to all and not a section. So it's not proper to whip up ethnic sentiment over temporary misunderstandings involving two leaders who have had a long history together. Whip up sentiment, temporary misunderstanding. Well, His Royal Majesty, the paramount ruler of Okochiri Kingdom, the Amayan of Okochiri Kingdom, as the case may be, says it looks like this to be, from his background as a fighter, as a grassroots person, as someone that's been in the system, before he gave up arms to take over the leadership of his place, Okochiri. Is he speaking from, because what we saw doesn't look like temporary, because the minister of the FCT is still insisting on having his way. He's still saying his structure must be maintained and all of that. But his political son, being the governor of the state, is saying it's just a dispute between a father and son. We had the elders forum of the River State Elders Forum yesterday, talking about how Fubara should not allow people use him to fight his godfather. That Wike is right, and Fubara is the one that is basically, being used to cause all the problems. But Edwin Clark don't seem to think so. And several other persons that, like Senator Magnus Abe, and several other persons have given their voice on this. So I'd like to bring you in here. Now, so when His Majesty said it's a temporary thing, what exactly do you think we're looking at here?
Firstly, I want to say thank you once again for having me. And very quickly, I think I will align myself with His Majesty when he says it's a temporary thing. It's not going to last forever. Because whether I would like it or yes, Siminalayi Fubara is going to spend a max 8 years at the maximum stay in office. And if you're going to spend 8 years, 8 years is equally temporary in the lifespan of any human being or structure. But be that as it may, it is important and pertinent to stress that the present situation in Rivers State is, for many of us, not directly and clearly to say this is the feud between the governor and the ex-governor, because both the ex-governor and the present governor has not come out to give a press statement and say this is the issue we had, this is what led to what, and this is where we are today. We are all just a lot of persons are working on speculations But be that as it may, it is important to note that when people you hear funny statements like, is it not my right? Have I not worked? Will I not have my percentage or whatever? And all of that, those kind of videos that has made the rounds. And when you hear the governor say, you cannot work for the only the interest of one person or just a person just controlling everything, we must come to that point where our words will be matched with actions. A couple of years ago, precisely 3 years ago, the ex-governor of this state was on air when he told the world, Benin is not, Edo is not Lagos. The Niger Delta people are not people that they will not have, they need a godfather. They don't need a godfather. An educated mind should be given the liberty of freedom. Because even our maker has given us a free will to think and take actions just the way we ought to. More so, it is important to note that many of our leaders today are opportunists. I take us back to memory lane in 1991, when we were talking about democracy, the first democracy. A lot of years and postulates good law. Able to, over time, because this democracy has come to stay, been able to, over time, amass so much wealth and have become political leaders. Of which persons? Of what structures? And what has been the political gains that these persons have been able to bring to the fore? Unless we address fundamental issues from the roots and face people look people in the eyes and tell them the truth. When I listen to some of the senators, some of the honorable members who were making the statements that they made, I ask myself the question: was it not the same election we witnessed and we observers and we part and parcel of in River State? It's not the same election upon which we do not, up until date, we do not know the INEC returning officer of the local government council, upon which our result was still equally announced by INEC. Both the River State government and INEC itself does not even know the agent that managed that election. So this is the kind of country we have bequeathed to ourselves. This is the kind of country we have found ourselves. And now we have tried to make very serious issues look seemingly light. A lot of people are staying in the comfort of their glass houses and think that every other person could just imagine glass houses and it becomes their lot in their dreams. The reality is staring us in the face. Whether we like it or yes, River State is just one case at the moment. Many other states will equally have its turn. But it's very, very painful for me to make this statement. People should be able to be students of history. It's not about making money. You should be able to equally develop your mind. We have seen the Chimaruke incidents with former governor, Modu. We saw what transpired in Enugu State at the time. We've seen that happen again in what's the other states. We've seen this thing occur over and over time. Look at the most recent Edo State. Godfatherism has got it's quickly fizzling out. We did not say because Bill Clinton stood up behind Barack Obama, then automatically he's going to be a political father, and automatically he wants to make sure that if he wants to go and stool, he has to call his father to ask him, should I or should I not? These are the kind of systems we are beginning to build, and some of us are applauding it. Some of us are making excuses for it. But this is the reality of the cross of the whole matter. Whether we like it or not, if these things are not knit in the bud, completely annihilated from our system, it is only running Nigeria to aground over time. So whether we accept it or yes, I believe that yes, it's a temporary issue. But it's not a small matter. However, it is not wise for us to take the ethnic undertone for now, because the ethnic undertone will be breeding unnecessary problem, crisis that we might not be able to contain, and might equally at the end of the day engulf everyone. But whether we like it or yes, it is important that everybody should understand that the words of Sule Lamido some 8-9 months ago to the former governor of the state, he said, I bet you in no time you will be trashed back into the dustbin of former governors. We have all been there. The office has got his force, and when the force of the office is on you, you act like though you are the emperor. But you must understand that you must know the time to bow out. And people have been able to learn the painful lessons from the very bitter part. We saw the Udom Emmanuel and Akpabio saga. We've seen these things play out over and over and over again. And some people tell themselves, I am now the demigod. When it gets my turn, mine will be different. I will be able to perpetuate it. How well has it worked? Take it back to memory lane 2007. Even the sitting president of Yaradua, he brought in his in-law. He was thrown out by the court. He can still say it was thrown out by the court. So whether we like it or yes, we must understand that the fact that we have balkanized the system and the system seems to be completely gone does not mean that the minds of everybody is completely docile and people can't think of it by themselves. So everybody must shield their thoughts, no doubt, But going forward, I think the state and the people upon which people have sworn their oaths should be more important than the interest of any person or the intentions and ambitions, because the ambitions and interests of any person cannot cumulate to the collective good of us all. But only when systems are strong and the processes are transparent, that are only then and then can we be able to boldly say we have a future. We're trying to be to the next generation.
Thank you very much. So we're still going to actually look at something very quickly here. Governor Similai Fubara is just still quite new in office, but not to say that he hasn't been in public service. But this is a bit concerning. One begins to wonder how far Fubara can go with these happenings. Okay, I mean, there's this 48 laws of power that you shouldn't outshine your superior. When we talk about power in this context, are we actually looking at, like what transpired between Shuaibu and Obaseki? Or is it actually supposed to be with someone who has left office? Is this actually supposed to be happening this way?
Listen, laws are made for men, not men for us. And whether you like it or yes, there is always an exception in life. And politics is the biggest drama. That is why you see, with all due respect to ministers of God, traditional rulers and all, politics is one place that its intrigues are so deep that you do not just open your mouth to say, I saw and I want to prophesy, I want to speak about it. Because it has to do with humans whom are not stable. Now you must understand when you talk about not outshine your master. In what context are these things are these laws or statements being made? Is it the context of politics? Ask yourself, on what line will you outshine your master? Even the holy book that says, children honor thy father and thy mother. He said, fathers and parents do not provoke your children to wrath. Why? Because there is a limit everybody can take from anybody in the name of a master or a superior. Do not forget, before Governor we can become governor of this state, we remember the statements of his predecessor, the person of Honorable Rotimi Amici. We remember his statements. These things are not far-fetched. Don't forget, sometimes some people make statements and we want to pet them and make them give colorations like they are universal. Ask yourself, what do people practice as democracy that makes them respect their society, their predecessors politically? Is it what we are practicing here as democracy today? And if we continue, are we forgetting so quickly when somebody was said that I am the president of my state? Are we forgetting so quickly? Do you know what the powers of a governor? You were talking about being able to put through. That has been Auditor General of this state for a while. I have said it and I will keep saying it. I do not applaud either parties. I was never part of their process. I was completely a voice contrary to what the People's Democratic Party here in River State at that point was doing, and I felt they did. But politics has come and gone. This is now time for governance. And as it is, issues must be treated squarely as they are. And one of the square issues we are looking at today is, do you know the parts of the governor? Do you know the state Nigeria is as a country? We are still the king of gunpowder. We are not talking about, you saw what transpired in Imo State. You're seeing what is happening. You saw what transpired at the tribunals. You're seeing what have transpired at the Supreme Court. We have made laws, and I've said it before, and we keep reiterating it. Whether we like it or discussing it today.
So we get to
I like the way you took that break.